and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. It's a Thursday morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning on the outside. It's time for another business buzz. Today we only have one segment, and that will take us up to 9 o'clock, but we'll probably have a little early wrap up so we can let our guests go. I want to say good morning to our producer, Miss Susan Watson. She's a producer of the Business Buzz, and today is our monthly segment with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, RCIPS, and our guest in the studio is Police Media Officer Judy Ann Powery from the RCIPS Media and Communications Unit. We will get some important tips regarding how to prevent vehicle break-ins, as well as we'll get some information about pellet guns. Thanks for coming on the show this morning, Judy Ann.
Thank you for having me.
As usual, you're always ready to go, right?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. We've got lots of questions for you this morning.
Yeah.
Now, Jodianne, vehicle break-ins, we've been seeing a lot of that on the island.
Yes.
More so than normal.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of stats are we looking at for those break-ins?
So we are only a few weeks into the year, and so far this year there has been 27 vehicle-related theft crimes, and of the 27, 23 of them have been thefts from a vehicle, or what we would term probably a vehicle break-in. However, they haven't actually been break-ins, Miss Anita. What we found is that persons would be going around and I guess late at night and testing doors, and the ones that were left open are the ones that they search through and steal things from.
So technically that's not considered a break-in? It's a help yourself?
Kind of. It's a crime of opportunity,
Okay.
and unfortunately we're the ones that provide that opportunity by leaving our vehicles open.
True.
Yeah.
Now we're looking forward to getting some of those tips from you
Yeah.
as to how to prevent those break-ins.
Absolutely. So what we have found is that areas that have been targeted are overnight across Georgetown, Bordentown, and the West Bay District. And these have been mostly residential locations, but especially like complexes, condos, and so on, where there are a large amount of vehicles. Specifically, especially in the Bordentown area, what we found is that these have also correlated with burglaries that have taken place. So whenever someone went to break into a house, they would also check the cars and steal from the cars as well. So in the Eastern District, there has been a bit of an increase in burglaries as well.
These guys are brave. Or these people are brave.
Well,
I say guys, you know.
So burglaries and theft from vehicles aren't new to us. It's something that is reoccurring in the Cayman Islands, and it's something that we constantly and as often as possible do put out information to the public on. So as it relates to vehicle thefts from vehicles, one of the main things is, first of all, remember to lock your doors. But also don't leave any valuables in your vehicles. Valuables being electronics, cash, coins, jewelries. And believe it or not, people, the reason why I'm able to list these type of items is because these are things that have happened where people have left heirloom jewelry in their vehicles because they took them off to go to the beach.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
And these are things that we do. And sometimes we can't avoid leaving things in our vehicle, especially like going to the beach, for instance. But if you have a handbag where you putting all these things in, or a tote bag that you're putting all these things in to leave in your vehicle, then instead of leaving it in the inside of your vehicle, put it in the trunk so that it's covered. It can't be seen from the outside, and it has just one more layer of protection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I saw somewhere where it said a lot of, especially women, they have a habit when they know they have valuable in the car, right? And say they're going to the mall or somewhere, they're shopping.
Yeah.
And they'll stop the car, they'll park, ready to come out. Then I need to put this away. So they'll take their handbag and move it over to the back seat,
Yeah.
to hide it.
Well,
of course, somebody, if they're
Yeah.
hanging around, they'll
And I
see you
mean-
do that, right?
Yeah. And I mean, if you have covering in your back seat or whatever the case may be, and you know for a fact that your handbag can't be seen from the back, or from the ground in the back or whatever the case may be, then fine. But I would say practice putting it in the trunk rather than in the back seat.
Yeah, but the thing is, we get out the car where we're gonna park, take the car, the handbag or whatever, laptop, and put it in the trunk.
Yeah.
So somebody who's watching you
Yeah.
see you. So how about? Can we? It would be a good thing to do this before you park your car.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, there are a lot of things that can't be avoided sometimes, and these are one of them. But one of the things that I would say is to be aware of your environment as well, especially when you're doing these things, and park your vehicles strategically. Park them in areas that are well lit. Park them in areas that have security cameras in the event of an incident, and park them in places where possible, of course, where there are live security guards making patrols on the property. That way you know that there's an added layer of security to your property and your vehicle.
And sometimes people get out of their car, especially women. We have a tendency just, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So you leave, your
I'll tell you what.
your coin purse.
Of the 27 incidents, 4 of them have been taking a conveyance, which is a theft of a actual motor vehicle. Persons taking away a vehicle, and several of those have been from people who have left their keys inside their car. So whether it be, you've turned off the engine and left the key in there because you thought you were only going to be a minute, or you've left it running because you thought that you could see your car from the outside of wherever you were going and you were only going to be a minute. But it doesn't take a minute to steal a car. It just takes the opportunity. And once it's gone,
So
somebody has your...
Can I ask you, those cars, if they were stolen during the night, or was this in broad daylight?
No, in broad daylight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, broad daylight. Yeah. So again, especially
I do that all the
thefts-
time. I leave my car running to the gas station.
Let's not do that.
Oh, okay.
Also, Miss Anita, that is actually an offense.
It is an offense?
It is an offense. Leaving your vehicle running unattended is an offense. It's a ticketable offense. So
I
let's
didn't know
not do
that.
that anymore, Miss Anita.
Complete ignorance there. I didn't know that. Seriously, I didn't know that.
It is an offense. So let's make sure that we don't do that.
Okay.
Because
Note to self.
thefts from vehicles and thefts of motor vehicles are crimes of opportunity, and we don't want to provide persons with the opportunity to destroy our property, because a lot of these vehicles have, once they've been stolen, they start to be destroyed right away. For instance, if a vehicle is stolen for the purpose of parts for another vehicle, then instantly they'll start to dismantle that vehicle. So we don't want that. So let's make sure that we don't provide people with the opportunities.
Okay. I know someone who, her car was a Honda. It was parked outside her apartment, and it was stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was an older woman, so wasn't really, she didn't care whether it was a Honda or or a Kia. She was just happy to have a vehicle to go from place to place.
Yeah.
But it was a Honda, and they stole it.
Yeah, and I will say as well that even though I've provided the example of people leaving their vehicles running, there are other ways to steal vehicles, and we have seen that they've used other methods to steal vehicles. So it's in no way, shape, or form that we're trying to victim blame or anything. It's just providing you with the information that we've been receiving recently to make sure that we make better decisions in the future.
Okay, so for one, do not leave your car running and go into the gas station
No.
to grab
No.
to grab a bottle of Lucozade
No,
or
turn off your
something.
car and lock
Turn
the
off your car.
doors.
Lock your car.
Yes.
I see a lot of people do that. You
Yeah.
know, and I don't think a lot of people know
Yeah.
this fact that it's an offense to
It
leave
is
your
an
car
offense.
running.
Yeah. Unattended.
Well, now they know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Via the Business Buzz. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Police Media Officer Jody Ann Powery from the RCIPS Media Communications Unit, and we're here talking about theft, vehicle theft, break-ins, and after in a little bit we'll be talking about BB guns and pellet guns. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
Or protecting your family's household investment.
from our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise
at Cayman Insurance Center. Call today.
Grand Cayman, the concert you've been waiting for is almost here. Cayman Airways, the Ministry of Tourism, Palmyra Development, and Tortuga presents three-time Grammy Award winner Cramps Morgan. Cramps Morgan.
What I'm feeling. Hey, Gramps Morgan here, telling you about my appearance. Man, listen, man, we're moving from the Mango Tree to the Lion Center. Seeing February 18th, 8 o'clock. So we're moving from February 11th to the 18th. Date has been pushed back 1 week because the ticket sales have been overwhelming. I'm excited to see most of you guys. New date, get your tickets now. Gramps Morgan live, February 18th, Cayman Islands. Gramps Morgan. Blessings.
Tickets are $45 pre-sold. VIP tables available. Get online at CaymanEvents.co or at Mango Tree. Part of the proceeds to Meals on Wheels. Cramps Morgan.
Tune in Saturday evening at 8 o'clock on Breeze Radio for our Valentine's edition. You'll love it. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday evenings at 8 o'clock on Breeze Radio. Entertaining, enlightening, and inspirational. Topical with CI cultural and heritage flashbacks. And the wonderful music of yesteryear, from the Thomas Edison era to the recent past. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman, and 91.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. That's your Yesteryear Musical, Valentine's Day Primer, Saturday, 8 p.m. on Breeze Radio.
Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day is back! The 54th Annual Agricultural Show at the Stacey Watler Agricultural Pavilion in Lower Valley. Ash Wednesday, February 22nd. Raffle tickets are on sale now, and for only $25, you can win $20,000 and so many other prizes. Raffle tickets include general admission to the show. For more information, visit them on Facebook or CaymanAgriculture.com.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Police Media Officer Jody Ann Powery from the RCIPS Media and Communication Unit. Jody Ann, talking about break-ins, vehicle break-ins. So we had, for this year, we had 4 cars stolen so far.
So far. And
But
23 incidents of persons who had thefts from their vehicles.
Okay, and those 4 cars actually had their keys in the ignition.
Not all 4, I
Not all
don't
4.
think.
Okay.
But quite a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
More
right.
than one.
Okay. So is the RCIPS noticing any patterns as to when these car break-ins tend to occur?
Yeah, they're usually in the late at night hours. So they're residential, and they would usually be like when people are asleep. So in the between midnight and 4 a.m. type of times. And I'm glad you asked that, because I want to probably suggest that persons who are strata and property managers to take into consideration increasing securities at these properties, especially if you know that the property that you're managing is in a isolated area, to make sure that you turn on the lights on the properties. If you don't already do have, add cameras if possible, and probably, you can even start a neighborhood watch in your strata property. And just ask the community officer in that area, and you can find out more about the community officers on our website.
No, going back to talking about how you can prevent someone, from breaking in your car, into your car. Sometimes people will take a jacket and throw it over there, or a piece of cloth or some blanket or something, and throw it over your valuables. I mean, what would you say to something like that?
In my opinion, I don't think it's enough. I think that just covering it isn't enough, and I think that that's something that is probably kind of a telltale as well.
It draws attention.
Yeah. So, and we were speaking about this off air. So if you have an electronic or a laptop, for instance, in your vehicle, store it underneath the front seat. It's a flat surface. And you're able to reach under there when you need to, and whatever the case may be, or put it in the trunk. And you don't want to be storing your electronics inside the car either, especially in the Cayman Islands, because the heat will damage it. So it's best to store them in the trunk or under the seats.
All right.
Or take them with you.
Just leave your car empty. That's my thing. Leave your car,
especially at nights when you get home. Take out everything. Not even coins you should leave in there, where it's visible. So just take out everything when you get home. Take them inside. I know it's a hassle, but it's what we have to do.
And breaking into the car, which is, I saw somewhere where the small window in the back, that little triangular window, is that the one that they normally break to get access into your car, Julia?
Yeah. So again, we haven't actually seen where vehicles have actually been broken. It has mostly been that they've been trying for the opportunity of open cars.
Oh, okay.
But in the event,
they're not smart, they're lazy.
No, they're not. But breaking a car would make noise, and it would attract attention. So I think that is because if they're going to residential properties, chances are the parking lots are close to the buildings themselves, and the chances of somebody hearing that something happened are very high compared to a commercial property where a parking lot is widespread. So I think that they're not trying to break because it'll attract attention. So they're trying for the opportunity of somebody who have left their doors open.
Okay. So, listeners, please close your door, lock your cars, lock your vehicles.
Yes.
Roll your windows up so that, sometimes folks have cars that the windows can't go up all the way. So, that's an invitation in itself right there.
Yeah.
So just make sure you don't leave anything in there that they can take out. Back in the day, I remember when stereos, people used to steal your stereos. Is that still a choice of...
We haven't seen a lot of it, but I do know that there have been a few. Not very, very recently, but I do know it's in the back of my head that somebody stole a whole sound system out of a car once. I think last year. But one of the things I want to say though is that we are aware that incidents like thefts from vehicles are significantly underreported. And I do want to encourage people, even if you don't want a full investigation, because maybe nothing was stolen from your vehicle, but you've noticed that it had been disturbed, to please still report it to us, because it's important for us from an analytic perspective to get the information about where these incidents are taking place, so that we can map and create a plan as to how to prevent future incidents.
Julianne, what are usually the penalties for committing car break-in or car thefts?
It genuinely depends on the circumstances, and I don't have the penalties offhand, but I do know that it is an arrestable offense. So please, let's not try to go to jail for $20 in coins.
That's right. Or even $3. I know someone got a car broken, they broke the window for $3.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at, we'll share, or Julianne, you'll share with us some of the incidents of persons using pellet guns to assault members of the public, and we'll, of course, touch on the dangers attached to them. Thanks to our sponsors of the Business Buzz this morning. We have Cayman Insurance Center. Thank you so much.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Join us Friday, February 10th at the Harquail Theater for the Valentine's edition of the Laughter Lounge Comedy Show, hosted by Corey Bell from Showtime's Monique and Friends, featuring comedians Mark Gregory and Mark Henderson. Come on down to the Harquail Theater this Friday, February 10th for a belly full of laughter. Happy hour is at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. sharp. For tickets or information, visit laughcayman.com or call 326-4510. Sponsored by Heineken, Sky Vodka, and Executive Services.
You know what I love to do with my family? Go fishing. I can put the bait on and cast and reel the line all by myself. My mommy and daddy say when they were little, there were plenty more fish to catch, but now there are lots more people fishing, so it's harder to find them. That's why we have marine parks now. They set some areas aside so the fish there can have babies and grow bigger. Then they swim out to other areas where I can catch them. Having the marine parks means there will still be fish there when I'm grown up and fishing with a family of my own.
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
Looking for better prices?
You'll always find them at Foster's.
Just like a Revlon hairdryer, $29.99. Save $18.
Or find better value on Chobani yogurts. 21.2 ounce, just $6.99. Save $2.40. And Nabisco Honey Made graham crackers, 14.4 ounce, $3.49. Save $2.
Want even more great specials? Then shop online at fosters.ky. Foster's. Better prices because we care.
Prices good until February 22nd, 2023.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host,
Anita Khan.
BB guns, pellet guns.
Right.
What's the difference, Julianne?
So what we are actually talking about aren't actually BB guns. They are a pellet type gun, but they are called gel blasters, and they are manufactured as toys. So what they do is they expel gel, water-filled gel bead pellets or some similar projectiles. And so a BB gun would be a metal pellet, but this one is water-filled bead projectiles. And the difference is the velocity in which the object travels. So obviously with a BB gun or air rifle, it would be significantly more. With these gel blasters, the effects aren't great enough to, say for instance, break the skin, but depending on the proximity of the person firing the gun to the victim who's receiving the injury, it could cause significant bruising or even welts on the skin, which is what we've been seeing happening.
So have been seeing a lot of incidents of people using...
So we have between 10 and 13 reported incidents of persons who were just generally going about their business, who've been attacked by persons shooting these guns at them. And even though it might... So what we've found out is that this appears to be a TikTok challenge, believe it or not. Called the Orbeez Challenge on TikTok. And although it might be in good fun to the persons who are actually doing it, on the receiving end, they could cause some significant injuries, especially if these guns are aimed at persons' faces. For instance, you could potentially, given the proximity again and the velocity of the blast, take someone's eye out, potentially. So, we want to, first of all, appeal to the persons to please stop doing this. It is nonsensical. I cannot imagine why you would want to do such a challenge. But also to the parents, please pay attention to, your children. If you know that they have these things, find out what they're doing with them. Because these are offenses that are being committed. They are committing assaults. They're causing a fear of provocation of violence. They're causing harassment, alarm, and distress to members of the public. And it's just a general nuisance to the public. I do want to assure the public that we have made 2 arrests so far. So yes, these are arrestable offenses that are being committed, albeit by young people. But at the same time, we have to manage the incidents and the seriousness of the incidents, along with, making sure that we're being fair.
Julia, you want to grab the headphones? We have a caller online.
Sure.
Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Anita.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. How you doing?
I am good.
Yeah,
good.
Interesting topic on, and good morning to the press officer.
Ms. Jodianne.
Good morning.
At RCIPS. Hi, good morning. Your last, I'm sorry, I know you transitioned to the BB gun, but your last set of talk in terms of cars and break-ins and stolen cars, be very careful how I say this. I'm aware of a few incidents, and my experience with the RCIPS has not been the greatest in this regard, and that's not for you right now. But I'm wondering if you could speak to, perhaps you've given us the numbers in terms of the occurrences. Mm-hmm. What about the successes in terms of either catching people, prosecuting people? And what I'm going to ask next is not meant to be bad, but to kind of raise the eyebrow. So, how serious does RCIPS take incidents in regards to people that are taking cars? Otherwise, is it just lackadaisical? Because, and again, I don't say that lightly. Sometimes if persons, think that this isn't high on the police priority list, and it may not be, especially if you have a tremendous amount of other incidents, serious incidents taking place. But have you ever tried, and I'm going to ask you this seriously as well, so that's 2 questions. Have you ever tried to call the RCIPS to follow up with an officer in regards to either a stolen item like your vehicle or otherwise, or persons who may be driving around with your vehicle, without your permission? It's a nightmare. First of all, you have to explain it to every single officer that you're dealing with, because nobody seems to know. There sometimes don't seem to be a report. I'm just giving you some experiences and backgrounds and some consideration. And, there needs to be some sort of consideration about how these things are handled and the seriousness in regards to, because the experience hasn't been very positive. So just wondering if you could speak to, recovery and how you go about that, not meaning to put you in the hot seat.
Not at all.
It may not be for you, but, maybe other persons have experienced the same thing. It's kind of like frustrating, throw your hands in the air. Should I just write this off? Because the people that I'm supposed to be calling don't seem to be taking it as serious. So just sharing.
Okay, caller, thank you so much. We'll leave Jody Ann to
Absolutely. That is not a problem, Anita. We have in recent years noticed that there was a breakdown in communication between investigators and members of the public who have made complaints to the police. And it was something that was brought to our attention, and it was something that we tried to mitigate as best as we could. And in doing so, what we did was we created a victim care unit. And I don't know how long ago the caller had this experience, but the victim care unit was created in 2020, and we did do some media around it, and maybe we'll highlight it a bit more in the next month that we're here, Miss Anita. But we do have a victim care unit, and if you are a victim of a crime, any crime, you can call this unit. You provide them with your name, the date of the incident, the report number if you have it. If you don't, it's fine, because we can still assist you. And they will go into the system on the investigator's behalf and provide you with an update. In addition to that, they will also send a note to the investigator to get in touch with the victim, because the victim has been asking for an update. This should not have to happen. However, we do understand and have to also take into consideration shift patterns, vacations, all those kinds of things. And this has absolutely nothing to do with the victims at all, because victims should not have to be waiting on responses from officers. But in the event that you are having difficulty, the victim care unit is there to provide you with that aid. You can also email them at victimcare@rcips.ky.
Do you have a telephone number for that?
Yeah, it's 649-2969.
The number again, Jodianne?
649-2969. And that's a victim care unit.
Okay.
They are a office-based unit, which means that they work during the business hours, so Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4.
Okay. Now, Julianne, I know we had planned to let you go early, but
that's fine.
we'll have to lock you in for a couple more, for a few more minutes, and because we're going to go back. Thanks for explaining all about the victim care unit. But let's go back to the BB gun. Or the pellet guns.
Yeah.
Now, are these air rifles under the firearms law?
No. So they are manufactured as toys.
As toys.
Yes.
Why is
However,
that so, do you know? Any idea?
Sorry?
Any idea why they're manufactured as toys?
Well, they're toys. They're toys that you could probably go into Book Nook or Books and Books. Sorry about the business names. Okay. But you can go into any of the toy shops and purchase. Just like how you could purchase a Nerf gun. But these don't expel foam projectiles. They expel
the
gels, and they expel them at a higher velocity than the Nerf gun, which means that the impact is greater than the Nerf gun. And the manner in which they're being used, it means that they're being used as an offensive weapon rather than as a toy.
Okay.
Because they're using them to cause harm to people.
That's sad. Now, before I let you go, can you share some details, just quickly in a nutshell, on the type of burglary incidents that have been taking place recently and the precautions that people should be taking to keep safe?
So we've been having residential burglaries taking place more recently. And one of the things that we've seen is that, again, there are crimes of opportunities that have been taking place. So, people who've been leaving their glass doors open, or, the front door open.
That's because it's such a safe place to live, Julianne.
Yes, and I do maintain that we are still one of the safest places in our region and probably in the world. However, things still happen, and it is not. We are not absolutely crime-free. Unfortunately, it is a goal and dream of the RCIPS to try to keep you safe from all crimes.
Thank you.
But we do fall short on that for various reasons, and so we are depending on you to also assist us by making sure that you're not easy victims.
Okay. Now, how can those listeners contact the RCIPS?
So it depends on what you want.
Okay.
Should you want to make a report, and it is not an emergency, you can call any of our police stations, and those numbers are provided on our website at rcips.ky. If you do have an emergency, please call 911. That is the best way to get to us in a hurry. Aside from that, you can leave comments and feedback and provide tips to us via our website again, rcips.ky, and you can download our mobile app for more information. We will be putting out more information on the incidents as it relates to the gel blasters. And we will be probably doing a demonstration on video as to how it works and the seriousness of it, because it is extremely serious. And we are definitely imploring that, especially parents, pay attention to what your children are doing. We don't want children to be getting into trouble with the police. The last thing we want to do is to be arresting teenagers. But these are serious crimes, and they won't be tolerated because they're creating panic in the community.
Okay. Julianne, thank you so much. Anything you'd like to leave with our listeners before we let you go?
Just stay safe over the weekend. It's Thursday. It's Friday Junior. So let's remember not to drink and drive, reduce our speeds on the road, and just generally be safe.
Okay, Winter Guardian is over.
It is over, but we are still out there.
On patrol.
We're still out there. Remember that we now have 2 traffic units, one dedicated to the Eastern Districts and one to West Bay and Georgetown. We do have capabilities of providing aid to the sister islands as well as needed. And I want to shout out to the sister islands, and I'm going to definitely try to get Mr. K on to give us an update on them sometime soon as well.
Yeah, we miss him.
Yes, he is happily.
You banish him.
He is happily in the Area Commander in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Happily so. We didn't banish him.
Julia, thank you so much for popping by this morning, and we look forward to next month's session with the RCIPS right here on the Business Buzz. Thanks to Susan holding it down this morning. Susan is a producer of the Business Buzz. She puts it all together for our listeners and our viewers, of course. And to you, our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Until Tuesday, February 14th, it's Valentine's Day. Julianne, I guess you got things going on then, right? And for Valentine's. When we bring another Business Buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe and have a wonderful day. From me, your host, Anita Can. Goodbye.
Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart. The soul of the Cayman Islands.